This is a 2-ounce bottle of our very own Crafter's Choice fragrance oil from the one and only Wholesale Supplies Plus. One thing about our fragrance is you know you're getting the same formula in each bottle. Our goal is consistency, ensuring that our makers get exactly what they need with every purchase. In fact, the first 6 fragrances we ever offered use the exact same formula today that they did years ago. Some quick facts before we break down our fragrances all together is that they are all phthalate-free, paraben-free, Prop 65 compliant, and sulfate-free. And behind the scenes, to keep our fragrances fresh, we store them in steel drums and package them in amber glass to keep the UV rays from warping the formula. Now, onto the label. Each fragrance is wrapped with our signature blue labeling with details you need to know to be the best maker you can be. Starting off with our fragrance title, always listed here. Lot number, listed here, is basically the batch number, so that if there's ever an issue with your fragrance oil, we can track it back to the manufacturing process. Next, we have the Flashpoint, which requires a little more of an explanation. Flashpoint is defined as the temperature at which a particular organic compound gives off sufficient vapor to ignite in air. In basic terms, how hot can you get this fragrance oil before it catches on fire? Flashpoints affect production and safety processes, and knowing the flashpoint ensures safe handling during the melting and pouring process, especially for candles. And lastly, the vanilla content. This particular fragrance says 2.2%, but it's important to know that every single fragrance is different. This number refers to the percentage of vanillin and ethyl vanillin, a compound in the fragrance oil that can cause discoloration in products, which is why we can't stress enough to use vanilla color stabilizer. If you don't use vanilla color stabilizer, you'll notice that over time, the vanillin will react with air and light, causing your soaps or candles to turn brown or yellow. Okay, now that we've broken down the fragrance, its bottle, and the label, let's move on to how exactly you choose a fragrance oil. First things first, you'll need to identify what you're using it for. For example, soaps, candles, lip balms, lotions. Sometimes fragrances are made specifically for candles, therefore aren't safe to use on skin and could burn you or cause a rash. The possibilities are endless, and we're talking about best case scenario here. Another thing to keep in mind is your performance needs. Look for strong cold throw for candles or lye stability for soap. Allergen and sensitivity considerations are also very important, which then leads me to testing. Make sure to always test the oil in small batches to ensure compatibility with your own formula. And lastly, make sure to check if the oil meets regulatory standards like IFRA. What is IFRA anyway? IFRA, or IFRA, is the International Fragrance Association, and this is who sets the safety standards for fragrance use in products. This is important because they ensure fragrances are safe for skin contact, inhalation, that they limit potential irritants or allergens. Basically, they test fragrances so you don't have to, but make sure you always check back at this because things do change. Other things to keep in mind as a maker are cold and hot throw. Again, make sure to always test your fragrances to ensure they smell pleasant at both rest and when the candle is burning. Solubility in lye. For soap making, verify the fragrance doesn't seize or discolor during soapification. When it comes to storage, keep oils in cool, dark places to preserve potency. And lastly, labeling and compliance. Include fragrance allergens on labels to comply with regulations and build consumer trust. Okay, that's all we have for today. Comment below with any questions you might have about making or fragrance oils. We're always happy to help. Don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you later.